This is my review of the Brig for Lost Season 3, Episode 19, or was it 18? I don't even know. I think it's 19. And I lost track of the numbers like a couple weeks ago, and then I just haven't really ever gotten it back again. Anyway, we're done with that, so... quick recap. Locke comes out of the jungle in the middle of Sawyer's piss break and says, "Hey, you want to zip up your pants, man?" Sawyer's like, "Yeah, okay." So Sawyer follows Locke into the woods, barefoot, and Locke takes him to the Black Rock. He says that he has been captured and he wants Sawyer to kill him. So they get to the Black Rock, Locke gets in and he opens the door and says, "Ladies first." Sawyer goes inside, and then Locke locks him inside with Ben, or who he thinks is Ben. He pulls off the bag of the guy's head, turns out to be none other than Anthony Cooper. So, and then of course we find out that what we've been speculating since like Season 2, or some people say since even Season 1, that Anthony Cooper, Locke's dad, is indeed the same guy who coerced Sawyer's parents into killing each other. So, oh boy, you know. So meanwhile, we have the parachutists back on the beach. Hurley and Charlie and some others are hiding her from the rest of the crew. And then finally they invite Saeed in on it. And Saeed said, "Does Jack know about it?" And they're like, "No." Saeed is like, "Good," sounding a little bit like Darth Vader in the process. He goes inside, interrogates her. She basically tells him all about the plane and the passengers and how they found him and everything. He said, "Well, no, we're still alive here, and yeah, you're alive, aren't you?" And the scary thing is, she says, "Remind me not to rescue you." So, remind me not to rescue you. How could he possibly remind her not to rescue him? Is she going to come back in the future, or is she from the future? Or is she from the past, maybe? So, and she's going to the future to find out what she needs to do, and then she's going to come back and do it? And, you know, just prevent it all in the first place or something? I don't know, man. Okay, so then you have, so then they have the sat phone, which Saeed decides to go out on the beach with it, which is stupid. He should have totally stayed in the tent if he was going to mess around with that thing. No, he takes it out right there to the beach where anybody can just walk by and see, and who should walk by but Kate Austin. She comes by, sees him with the phone, she's like, "Hey, what's that?" And, you know, it's an innocent question which turns into a total interrogation session in which he says, "Can you keep a secret?" And obviously she can't, so she goes straight to Jack and Juliet with that mess. And, you know, people are saying, what's her motive for doing that? And aside from, you know, just trying to get on Jack's good side, because that's kind of childish, but I think it's possible she might be trying to prevent the rescue, because we've seen in Season 1 she doesn't want to get rescued because she's just going to go to jail anyway, so she might have told him that because she secretly wants them to just mess it up. But then the even crazier part is that after she tells Jack and Juliet about this parachutist girl, all of a sudden Juliet looks at Jack and she's like, "We should tell her." And Jack is like, No, we shouldn't." And Kate is like, "What?" And Juliet is like, "No, we should tell her, Jack." And Jack is like, No. And Kate's like, "What?" And it's like, "Janet, Dr. Scott, Brad, Rocky, Janet, Dr. Scott, Brad, Rocky." I have no idea, man. Just don't get me started. What were they about to say there? I have no idea. And why did they only say that after Kate brings up the parachutist? Some people are saying, well, Juliet was going to tell Kate about the pregnancy thing, but that had nothing to do with what she was talking about, so why would they suddenly want to tell her that in that moment? I think it must be something that they knew about the parachutist, but I'm not sure what they could possibly know about her unless they knew about Penny. But I don't want the others to know about Penny, because Penny's the only chance we got against them. Or one of the biggest chances we got. Well, she's the biggest chance of getting off the island, but biggest chance against them, I don't know who it is. Probably more like Rousseau is our biggest chance against the others, because she's got the dynamite. Not again. I don't even want to know who that is. Shoot. Anyway, I'll try to talk past that because we're doing good here. I've already done 2 takes of this, and they were both 11 minutes long. I'm trying to rush through this.
Timothy Bishop, who is not at home right now.
No. I just changed that message.
Feel free to do that right now, baby.
So we have... What else is there? And then Ben gets Locke up in front of the others, and he's like, "Okay, I want you to kill your father right here in front of everybody." And Locke's like, "No, he can't do it, you know." And that's pretty much the same reason he was trying to get Sawyer to kill Cooper, because he couldn't do it himself. And that's what all the others are always doing. They're always getting someone else to do their dirty work, just like when they got Michael to go back and kill... Well, I don't know if they really specifically asked him to kill Ana Lucia, but That's anybody's guess, even to this day, whether or not he was sent specifically to do that or just to free Ben, and she just happened to be in the way. But anyway, Cindy was in that camp too, and I was thinking about this yesterday. They said there's a clue in the pilot episode that we still haven't figured out yet. I wonder if that clue is Cindy giving Jack the alcohol. And she says she wasn't supposed to do it. You know, he says it's against policy, right? And she just kind of shrugs it off and laughs at him. And she has like this great smile in that scene. And I kind of just always thought that was some cheesy scene that you kind of like, you know, when you see it. But what if she really wasn't supposed to give him that alcohol? Because they said he was originally supposed to die in the pilot, right? Now, if she hadn't given him the alcohol, it stands to reason he wouldn't have had it to use when Kate sewed him up on the beach after the crash. Now, he might have gotten infected if not for that alcohol, and then he might have died. There's a theory for you. Not that that really means anything. I mean, what would that mean if he had died, though? What would that have changed? Well, that would have changed a lot of things, I suppose, but who knows what. Anyway, but what it was when Ben was trying to get Locke to kill his father, and all the others are standing around watching, it reminded me of the scene where Cindy said, "We're here to watch." So it makes me wonder if they didn't do this same thing to Jack, and we just don't know about it yet. Maybe they got Jack to kill Christian Shepherd, since we know he's on the island too. And, you know, maybe he actually did it, and that's why he's in on the group, and yet Locke is not. And Locke was conveniently left behind. Excuse me. So anyway, and then there's this whole conflict about Sawyer. And, like, Sawyer killing Cooper, and whether or not Cooper really deserved to die. You know, and it's the whole death penalty thing. It's a classic debate. It's been going on for ages. But, I think it's funny because people are saying, you know, things like that Cooper didn't deserve to die, saying that, you know, living would have been a worse punishment, saying Sawyer would have been a better man if he hadn't have killed Cooper, or saying that it's not going to make Sawyer feel any better. And, you know, I understand that about the whole revenge not making you feel any better. I can see that, but I did a post about it, and I'm just going to read this post verbatim because I don't know if I can recreate this the same way it says. Considering what Cooper has done to both James and Locke over the course of 2 decades or longer, I can totally see what drove James to do it. The ones who say James was wrong for killing will also say things like that living would be an even worse punishment for Cooper than dying would. And yet, don't you think that living itself becomes a punishment for James without his parents, or Locke without legs? If you're going to use the death as more merciful argument, it could also be argued that Cooper gave something worse than death to Locke, taking away his legs, something worse than death to James by taking away his parents. There are more ways to take a person's life away besides killing them. I can't tell you how much I believe that. Neither James nor Locke ever just came straight out and said that Cooper deserved to die. But here's the good part. Charlie not only killed Ethan, but did say later that Ethan deserved to die. And this is after weeks of knowing the guy. And yet James and Locke are on the stand for it when they've been baited for years. Yeah, there you go. So that's pretty, you know, I could have sworn I had a lot more than that to talk about. We got this whole Danielle dynamite thing. Who knows what she's doing? Maybe she's going to get Alex and Carl, but who knows where they are either, really. You know, I'm still trying to figure out whether they're inside or outside the fence, and whether or not the fence is on. Do we know any of this stuff? Because, you know, that might be relevant. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, I guess it stands to reason if Alex was with the others, she would know about the tunnels. So if she was stuck inside the fence, she could get out of it. But I don't even know if Juliet ever turned it back off. She turned it on to block the smoke monster, but did she ever turn it off again? She was inside at that point. She and Jack and Saeed and Kate would have had to turn it off to get back out. But did she turn it on after that again or something? I don't know. I guess if there was nobody in there, there's no reason to lock the door, except to protect your belongings, which there were really none of those either, though. Okay, I'm going way off on a tangent here. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye, because if I have 3 takes of this and they're all over 10 minutes, then I'm just going to say forget it. Seriously, man. Can't spend all day doing this. I'm down to 3 days of my vacation left. Okay, shut up. You're just killing yourself here. Bye.